Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to From the Bottom. Today we're going to be talking about our losses and I guess cons of starting your own business.
Or problems that you probably will encounter.
Problems that you will definitely encounter.
For sure, 100%.
And you know, stuff that you got to keep in mind. It's not just simple like, oh, I'm going to start a bottom and I'm going to start a business and it's just going to, go straight to the top,
And collect millions like we all think it's going to be.
Yeah, no, it's far from that.
Yeah, far from the truth.
It's a bunch of I guess effort, hustle, and definitely
drive. Honestly,
stress.
Yeah, stress too,
drive.
Yeah.
You gotta always think of like, damn, like, am I gonna have business for tomorrow, or am I gonna have business for the next 2 days,
or the next week, or whatever.
or like, oh, this week was good, but will it be the same next week?
Yeah.
It's
what do I have to do to get the same amount of work for the week
you definitely have to like be able to schedule to manage and schedule. Like how every week can go by instead of having just 1 or 2 good days and then that's kind of where we're at right now. So
absolutely.
So some of the I guess starting off right away, it's obviously whatever you're gonna do, it's your initial investment. So like for us, it was our machines, like pressure washers,
equipment,
all these equipment, product, microfiber towels, everything. That's definitely like the biggest investment that you're gonna have right away. After that, you actually will need some just a tad bit of marketing. But as we mentioned, you could always do like the free type of marketing to where you just post on Facebook.
Yeah.
Your friends and family will just share it. Just to support or whatever. You could join local groups, share your business there.
Yeah.
If you want to get into a little, I guess, higher end is where you start doing ads.
Yeah.
Little video ads, which is a little more popular. Yeah. Something like this.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you can also move up to where like you start making business cards, signs. We made yard signs.
Yard signs. I think if you're gonna have a business, yard signs, at least in our area, is a great opportunity. But also cards. If you're doing a job, whatever it is that you're doing, and somebody says, hey, like it's happened to us before, hey, you know what, can I get a card from you? I might want to give you a call next week. Or hey, you know what?
And it's weird because like you would think that right now no one uses business cards because of the like digital, I guess, age or whatever. But it's very common that I'm out doing a detail and like we'll have cars pass by and they're like, hey, you mind giving us a card? We're actually looking for someone that details vehicles or whatever.
100%, 100%.
So it's a good thing to have on hand, and to have plenty of them because they will run out. I only ordered like 500. I think you ordered what, like 1,000?
1,000. Just
he ordered 1,000. I ordered 500. And I was like, oh, I need to get rid of these first.
Yeah.
Before I order, a big quantity.
A large amount,
So and we are running through them pretty quick. So we will end up making that little.
See, I ordered 1,000 just because I wanted to buy them one time.
Yeah,
that's it.
And that's also smart because you actually pay less.
Yeah,
like if I pay
in the long run.
In the long run you pay less. Also bidding, you will, as we obviously have.
As we know for sure.
You will lose some
bids.
Customers just due to bids. Either bidding too high, or possibly even bidding too low to where the customer thinks that you're actually not providing a good service.
Yeah, not an adequate service. Yeah.
So they might think like, oh, this guy's a newbie. He's
just trying to hustle me.
Yeah, he's trying to just
just trying to pull a fast one on me.
Charge 100 for this little service where others are charging 400 just to get the money, do a half-ass job, and then
what's the catch?
Yeah.
What's the catch? What's the angle here?
People will always ask that, like, hey, like, why is it this price? And we get that a lot with our detailing. Most detailers want to charge like $120 full outside inside, where we charge $50, and people are like, oh, what, like, why, or like, what,
100%.
Do you not do this? I was like, no, we do everything. It's just we like to keep our prices very low. It's for the common person. It's not for these like rich, business persons. Like business
not that
people.
it's not, but again,
it's not that it's not, but we want to tailor it to these, like the everyday person.
The everyday person. 100%.
So obviously, like you lost a bid.
I lost a ton of bids, man. If you guys need any like advice on how to lose bids, I'm your guy. So both in my personal business and in my 9-to-5 job as an energy consultant, I've lost thousands of dollars in bids, and I say that almost with like a badge of honor because it takes a lot out of you. You put in tons of work, tons of time, and tons of research into whatever bid or whatever number it is that you come out with. Obviously for a reason, right? You're not trying to to pull a fast one on anybody, but you want to offer a fair price for a great service, for a great value. And I think my biggest loss is actually a deal that I had with a real estate developer for one of our local supermarket brands, H-E-B. Some of you guys may know. Shout out to all the guys in Texas and Mexico. But again, so that was a bid that was $37,000 and some change. And I put that bid in, and believe it or not, our local utility company actually paid for, or was going to pay for half. However, I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody really underbid me or what the case was. After multiple emails, multiple follow-ups, I even showed up to the office just to see if I can introduce myself after the meetings that I had with these developers, just to see if I could, see if maybe it was a matter of price, if it was the services.
Yeah, you always want feedback.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it
right.
were we not legit enough? Were we, did our appearance? Sometimes just by looking at a person, you're like, you know what?
I don't want to do business with
this guy. Just he gives off this vibe that he might not just do what we're looking for.
100%. And we're young guys, so sometimes you may get that impression from a young individual.
Yeah, and that's the only bad thing right now. If you're young, don't start a business, but you will get that a lot. You will get that a lot to where look at this young buck trying to do something, and you will get that because you'll have these older experienced people to actually get the bid just because they look a little more. How do you
they
say,
just fit the bill, honestly.
Yeah, they look more experienced, more reliable, more whatever.
Yeah.
Just because you're a young person doesn't mean that you're not going to do a quality job or you're not as focused as someone else, right? Yeah, but no, that's a big thing right there.
100%.
Just being young or whatever, but
that's where it's up to you as a young individual to say, hey, you know what? If I'm perceived that way, what can I do? Is it my clothing? Is it my attitude? Is it my vocabulary?
And the big thing was that's why we all both of us we got caps done, we got shirts done. And we're still in the process of getting, even more stuff done because the more, I guess, apparel with your logo, with your name, with whatever, you just look just a tad more.
You're perceived as more
legit.
serious.
Yeah, you just look they're actually doing this for a business or for a living. It's not just this dude just
wants to get some of my cash.
Yeah, wants some of my money.
Yeah, it's also not a cash grab.
You wanna look pretty legit to these people.
Yeah,
also, whatever you're gonna start off, whether it's detailing, whether you're a barber, whatever it is, you need to look at the competition in your area. So you need to make sure that it's not overly saturated to where you're gonna start it and you're just gonna be one of the thousands that already do it in your zip code, in your area code, whatever the case may be. So I know down in California and Florida and all that stuff, there's a ton of detailers. Why? Because it's a very popular thing out in those coasts. Here in Texas, we do have detailers, of course, but it's probably not as big to that extent like out in Cali and Florida. And also, just to keep in mind your daily spending that you actually spend. So say you charge a customer $200, but you're gonna spend $20 on gas. $10 of gas for your machine, another 10 for your chemicals, and that's just
labor. In your case,
that's just saying. That's just saying for yourself. That's not including if you have someone that's gonna help you out. They're $100 or $120. Whatever the case may be that you may be paying them.
Yeah.
And then obviously food for that day. If it's gonna be a full day or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of things we have to obviously keep in mind.
Yeah.
So you just gotta keep in mind your daily spending, obviously, and the products that you're gonna be using, and obviously you gotta do your research on what products work best, what's gonna benefit you more right now. Like us. We obviously know about the Chemical Guys line. We do use some of their chemicals, but we're not gonna, just strictly rely on them because we're doing a more of a economical, I guess, service.
Absolutely. Because your services are priced a certain way.
We can't, if we were top high-end detailers, then of course we would use these really expensive chemicals. These products. But obviously, just the way we want to do things, we limit to just certain products from these high end companies, and we'll use mainly the store. Like McGuire's,
yeah, more
Turtle
value
Wax,
brands,
a little more value brand that also provide a really good like whatever shine or type of wax or whatever. It's also a really
they're
good
not
brand.
Just because they're a little more cost effective doesn't mean they're any less of a product.
Yeah.
Any less effective on any level. Obviously, we still want to build a brand and build a business. So at least for Ruben and the products that he uses, he's not going to use something cheap and give you a cheap product. Again, we're all about offering value to our clients for whatever amount of money that you spend with us. So if it's a car detailing with Ruben's business, you're gonna get top notch. I've seen this guy, vacuum a car, and I kid you not, he probably sweat out like 2 gallons worth of literally water. And it was, I think it was like 105 degrees that day. And I was just there for company. But man, this guy was putting his blood, sweat, and tears into that thing.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that people don't see.
Yeah, that's the people. People obviously don't see that. But it's just a process of it's actually hard work. You can't just expect to go and do a half-ass job and then not get a call back. Yeah. So
and that also costs money. Callbacks are going to cost you a ton of money. 100%. So do the job right the first time, and that's it.
Because that will be one customer that you will know that you will get back for sure. So obviously people have multiple vehicles. They will obviously call you for their other vehicles, and same with pressure washing. They may have just one driveway, but these houses out here in Texas, there's a ton of trees. There's tons of sap,
a lot of algae.
All of that. All these algae that get stuck on these houses on the side. So sooner or later they'll call you. Like, hey, can you come do our exterior house washer? Yeah. Or as Carlos offers the roof washing.
Yeah,
right?
so I offer roof washing, mold removal, algae removal,
and that's a big thing here in San Antonio, especially with all these trees around the houses. Yeah. That's a big thing, and especially these driveways, they'll last you a week. A year, like that. Like you come pressure wash it, in May. Yeah. By the next year May, it's already starting to get a little dull, just like the first time you went to go do it. So it's very repetitive.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, for sure. And another thing is too, feedback. Anytime I do work with a client, I typically wait like a week or something like that, and just follow up with like a text or a call. Say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Smith, whoever it may be at the time. Hey, you know what? I just want to follow up with you. How are you liking the service that we provided for you? If you like it, great. Would you mind leaving us a review on Google? If not, what can we do better next time?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if so, how can we make up for it? So there's actually, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this guy. His name's Ryan Serhant. I happen to watch him just because I like real estate and all this stuff. So I happen to watch his show on TV, and he has the 3 F's. It's the follow up, the follow through, and follow back. So those are things that I take to heart. Because I think those, performing those tasks will actually help advance my business.
Oh yeah,
and not only my business, but obviously word of mouth. So those are things that are very, very important to me on an individual level.
Yeah. Also, a con of a business and providing a service is knowing how much time you spend on a job. Obviously, you don't want to. Yeah, time is money, and especially if you're doing a driveway like in Carlos' case. You obviously don't want to spend too much time on just that one driveway. Obviously, you want to get it done and very thorough, but you want to be very, I guess,
methodical.
Yeah, like you don't want to just take too much time to where if you had other jobs lined up for that day, you run out of time or daylight, and then you have to push them to another day. And then obviously, customers are there at, in this case, they're going to be there at home usually. Yeah. Waiting for you to show up and all that stuff.
They may have canceled their plans.
Yeah, and they may have canceled, whatever they had going on that day to just, be there for whenever you show up. And then if you took too long on that first job to where that evening job is, you got to move it to the next day, then that's already like another, I guess, like bad point on you that you got to move them on to the next day. Yeah. Where the next day they might have to be at work already, or whatever the case may be.
The weather may not be the same.
Oh yeah, even the weather. That's another bad thing. Is also
that's a huge con.
Yeah, it's a huge con here where it rains here and there or whatever. So detailing. We always try. I let the customer know, like, hey, we got weather coming in tomorrow, or I mean, we got rain
Or
coming in
it's
tomorrow.
expected throughout the
yeah,
week,
it's
or
expected throughout the
whatever
week.
the case.
I let them know because I'm not gonna take advantage of my customer to let them know. Oh, we got, we got today available. You want today? We can go head out, in about an hour. When I know it's gonna rain tomorrow, so then I just basically screwed over that one customer for cleaning their vehicle if I know that tomorrow it's gonna rain.
Yeah.
So I always tell them, like, you know what, let's have this rain pass by.
Yeah.
And then we'll go ahead and do it because we get those weeks or almost like 2 weeks of like just straight sunlight. Just no rain at all, and that's when we benefit.
But
most.
Texas weather is notorious for just being like that. I mean, one day it could be 95 and sunny and bluebird skies, the next day tornadoes and hail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have no idea. I mean, fortunately we don't have tornadoes in San Antonio, but just like that, I mean, we had hailstorms. I think like maybe 2-3 weeks apart from one another. We don't really get hail, but I mean that just goes to show how quickly that can turn around, and it's crazy.
And a lot of these detailers offer like the warranty on their washes or whatever. That's just something we cannot provide at the price that we do our businesses or our service.
Yeah.
And there's obviously I'm not sure. There's no really warranties you can provide.
No, not so much. Especially because it's something that you use every day. You use them,
It's not really like, oh, we did it today, and the customer calls back tomorrow that it's still dirty. I mean, usually if they drove in their vehicles already, it's obviously going to start getting dirty the minute they start driving in.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, if it's like a matter of like, hey, I messed up your concrete and I chipped it or I cut it or whatever or it broke apart.
Oh yeah, that's another big thing.
That one thing that I do before I ever even start a job is I do a walkthrough. Even because sometimes I give quotes before I even get to the house. I'll say, hey, send me your address on Google, and I'll just take a look at it from like a satellite view, and that's that. I'll just give them a price over Google. But once I actually get to the residence, I'll say, hey, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, whatever the case may be, let's just take 20 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes out of our day, and let's go check what we're going to do. So if I see that there are any splits in the concrete or any splits in the vinyl siding or the wood, whatever the case that may be with whatever I'm doing for that day, I bring it up. And when I provide my invoices in paper, there actually are segments in there where it says, hey, hazards or things that we should be careful with, or things that are just
or like
problematic.
even areas that you avoid. There's some areas where it's just beneficial if you avoid them. If you just try and put that pressure on that little area, cracked area where it's gonna just start chipping off. Then you're better off just leaving it alone. You let the customer know. Obviously, you just don't leave that patch of like still dirty concrete or whatever.
100%. And that gets addressed too. If I say, hey, it's X amount of dollars, and I don't clean whatever I said I'm going to clean, well, obviously then the price will go down, or I'll make up for it in another different way. So you never just say, oh well, it's $200 and I'm actually going to perform less work and still charge them the same. That's not fair. Again, that's not value. So that's again.
We always try and do a little extra or a little something extra.
That's one thing that everybody can take a note from. It's we always do a little bit of extra.
Yeah.
So if Ruben says, or a client tells Ruben, hey, just clean the outside for me. Okay, no problem. We clean all the outside of the vehicles, clean all the panels and the paint and all that. And you know what? Maybe throw some tire dressing on there.
Yeah.
It'll just look that little bit better.
Yeah, it's just the little extra stuff that you do. It makes people. I mean, people see everything. Obviously,
100%.
If people are paying for that service, they see everything.
Yeah.
So you will get those texts where like, hey, I know I didn't pay for the tires and wheels, but I saw that you did them. Like, thank you so much.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm actually gonna Venmo you $10 extra or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
and you don't do it just to get those extra dollars, but you do it just for the
to have
sense
good
that
reputation. Honestly, like just to say, hey, you know what? Thank you for the opportunity of being able to service you, and thank you for the business. To be completely honest with you, and that little bit of that little nugget of just kindness that you gave could be, you know what, 2-3 extra customers down the road that you may have not even thought about.
Yeah, that you may. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be pretty much it for today about like cons. I mean, there's obviously a lot more. That it's just depending on what you actually do. Like if you're a barber, you gotta obviously rent out a space.
And that's every month. That's every month.
That's a monthly charge. It just depends on what you do.
Yeah.
There's different expenses that we might not know about, but just leave it in the comment sections below what you do and what are the expenses that you pay.
Yeah, that's actually a great deal.
That we don't know about. Because obviously I don't have to rent out a space, but if I was to ever open up a detailing place, then I would have to start, renting out space, electricity,
Gas,
whatever
to
utilities
keep a
that.
furnace going.
Yeah, obviously.
All the little things that maybe you wouldn't even consider, but.
So if you're like a barber, just leave down, I guess in the comment section below, how much do you pay a month, like for your chair
or whatever business you have,
or whatever business you have.
What are your expenses looking like?
Yeah, like I know, like some of these nail salons also, like if you're a tech or nail tech or whatever, you got to pay for your your area, or maybe you're the owner of it. How much do you pay for rent, or do you own the place? How much was the place to actually purchase?
Do you own it? Do you lease it?
Yeah.
What is your insurance cost? I mean,
insurance.
There's so many things. Yeah, there's
so many things that it's just one after another that we just may not know until you actually come across it. So that's gonna be it for today here at From the Bottom.
Make sure to leave us all your feedback, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, later, guys.
Laters.